Welcome back to Midnight Who Extra, and today we're going to be reviewing the 7th episode of Doctor Who Series 10, which is called The Pyramid at the End of the World. And now, The Pyramid at the End of the World is a very intense episode. It's a very kind of like drama-filled episode in a way, because there's a lot of rising action and a lot of that. Basically what I'll tell you is the monks, they're just kind of standing around, and they're not really doing much like attacking or invading yet, because they need consent. They need consent by these leaders. That is a very interesting thing, that they need consent before they can help/invade. Well, they say they want to help, but I'm thinking after seeing last week, for next week's episode trailer, I think it's more invading, but we'll find out. But it's a very interesting thing. These monks are a very interesting creature, and I'm really curious what their whole motive is. We get kind of glimpses of it, but not too much. It makes you still kind of wonder, okay, what is up with these monks? Of course, the Doctor reveals to Bill that he has been blind since the events of Oxygen, and this leads to this week's massive cliffhanger, which, wow, Bill. Bill consented to the monks. Wow, good job, Doctor Who. That was a big cliffhanger, and the reason she did that was because the Doctor would be trapped and in the explosion and would have probably periled. And I'm like, wow, Bill, that shows, and the monks even said, love. And it shows it really is a stepping point for Bill's character as a companion, because you get to see how much she's starting to now care for the Doctor and how she doesn't want anything bad to happen to him. The rest of the episode, it was a fairly, I'm going to call it an okay episode, actually. I really did enjoy it. It was very thought-provoking. I didn't really know where it was going, and it really was a very reminiscent classic series episode of Doctor Who. Of course, Peter Capaldi was amazing in this episode. The Doctor, Bill, and Nardole were all great this week. They gave some excellent performances. And the Doctor, I liked how he was figuring out things as we go, and how to kind of figure out what the monks doing. And the big thing he kept saying is, don't consent. Because, you know, he needed to figure out what's going on. And I kind of liked how he kind of blinded the monks, too. That was a very good kind of scene, and very clever how he used that to find out what was causing the end of the world. Let's see, what else? Honestly, that's about all I can say about this episode. Is a solid episode. A very solid episode. Now, looking at this as a three-parter, or let's say first part of a two-parter, whatever you want to say it, this was a very, good episode. It set things up again, but it also led to many more things. And I cannot wait to see what next week's is like, and what the conclusion to this episode will be, because I really can't wait for it, because I really just want it now. Another thing I will say is, last week's one of my favorite scenes was Bill's date. Was last week, and that was a very funny scene. And this week we get to have another version of Bill's date with this girl, and this time, UN forces come. Bill has the best of luck with dating. So, what are my overall thoughts on the Pyramid at the End of the World? Well, it was a really good episode of Doctor Who. It was definitely, I don't know, is it my favorite so far? That's a tough question, because honestly I've enjoyed almost every single episode this season. But I really liked how this one felt like a classic Who episode. It was very slow moving, not too much action, but it was so thought-provoking. I really do like thought-provoking episodes of Doctor Who sometimes. Now, that being said, probably is a little slow at the beginning, but what will make this episode really high points is that last 10 minutes. It's a very intense 10 minutes, and it was like, no, not this. Like, what's going on? And that's a really good sign of a good episode of Doctor Who. What I can say is that I'm really curious what next week will bring, more than any other week, especially after that ending. But overall, I will give this episode a solid 8.5 out of 10, and yeah, I cannot wait to see what next week will hold for us. Well, that's it for tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me your guys' thoughts on this episode below in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.